Just do that.
Yeah, because I'll end up looking at myself the whole time.
It's way better.
But
Okay.
I like to look at myself. I already did it.
I was kidding. Okay, well, here's to our first podcast.
Well,
Don't fall asleep.
we haven't made it there yet, so let's not make any promises we can't keep.
I'm manifesting right now.
Are we putting it in the universe?
Putting it right into the universe.
Okay.
Cheers. It gets worse every time I think.
It does. It used to be easier as you go, but is it the older you get, it gets harder?
I think it's the hornier you get harder. But I don't know if that only
Are you
works.
horny? No, obviously not.
I mean, well, give me another shot.
Okay, nope, this is an AA meeting now.
Tricked you.
Got me.
Well, the thing is that I swear I like certain tequilas after I do another tequila for a while. Did you ever notice that? So,
Well, that's kind of how I felt about Corlejo, because I was so much horny-nosed in my life.
yeah, and like you kind of hornied out.
After a while, your toes get so horny, you're just over it.
But then, so when I had a Corlejo, like the first couple of times, I'm like, oh, this is way smoother. And then I switched.
See? Well, and I've been drinking Casamigos all night. So now when I have
yeah, see, that's way
this tastes like
Are we
shit
just
compared to
leveling
that.
up? 'Cause
I'm gonna try to convince them to give us Casamigos.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why we don't.
I almost bought some Casamigos today, and then I was like, Corlejo's fine.
I like
But
it.
I don't like it as much.
The thing is I don't really like how anything tastes.
But like,
I like to be drunk though. That's a problem.
I don't like to be drunk. I prefer to be someone not drunk.
But someone not sober.
Yeah, what's that level of
Browning out.
yeah, that's basically not drunk. That's
That's not blacked out.
socially acceptable drunk. Brown out.
See, I go straight from white to black. I don't even go. Well, I'm in brown.
Well, we didn't have to bring race into it.
Well, it'd come eventually.
Yeah, what? Oh, what if somebody did live their life in brown out, just constantly, right on the tip? You just kind of float that line.
See, that's kind of how I feel, but I know it's not it's more like I smoke too much weed. Where I feel like I just don't remember shit.
Does that make you? Oh, do you want one of these, by the way? Trulies.
Oh, yeah.
I have Trulies or pub beer. You have blueberry acai. Truly. Blueberry acai.
Wild berry.
I never smoked.
You know what we should? We should have seltzer on tap. That's a game changer.
Yeah. What if once this podcast reaches 5 people, Truly starts sponsoring us, and we could do advertisements?
I actually prefer White Claws. So.
Oh. Well, they probably won't sponsor us till I get 10 subscribers.
Smells like wild berries.
Yeah. Well, wild berries for a wild.
For a wild hairy beast.
The thing is about most seltzers is they don't actually put their ingredients in. And I always think that's strange. Like if you buy a food, you have to put all the items in your food. But if you buy a booze, you don't have to
It's already included.
No, but you don't have to tell a consumer what's in it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like, because this
Do you
tells
know what I mean?
because this tells you what's in it, like this. In this?
No, so these are the nutrition facts. But this doesn't have an ingredients list.
Yeah, filtered water, alcohol, natural flavors, cane sugar, citrus.
Well, this one does. So this doesn't have an ingredients list. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I know what's in there. Tequila.
Right.
Agave.
Well,
There might be
agave makes tequila. So this is actually surprising me because I didn't think that.
But it's just a malt beverage, no?
No. I think it's different. I'm not sure actually though. Because maybe it is. The cane sugar is what they use to make. They somehow condense it down and shit to make the booze. But some of those,
That's
like you know how like those,
fermentation.
you know how the Monacos they have like actual.
That's like what do they say? 2 shots in every can.
So they use actual like tequila or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't. It just uses sugar.
We're all just drunk on sugar.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how they do tequila, though, because agave is just a bunch of sugar.
And that's why it's the one alcohol that it's not a depressant. Tequila.
Really?
Yeah. It's not considered a depressant because it is made with agave. It's a natural...
So what are the other ones made with?
I don't know.
Like when you make vodka, do they...
Potatoes.
I mean, I guess you're right. And potatoes are depressing, so that's probably why you get... Yeah. Does that make sense?
I know a lot of depressed people who eat a lot of potatoes, and drink a lot of Tito's.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's weird is I drink a lot of tequila, and I'm never depressed.
Well, when you say it that way...
Yeah, I mean, I will say that tequila is the only one that makes me wake up.
Well...
Like, after that sushi, I was like, nap time. But after that tequila, I was like,
Daytime?
Daytime? Party time?
More?
More? Yeah.
I know, on the drive back, I was like, oh my god, I could fall asleep at the wheel. I'm so full of sushi.
Did you start singing that song? That was not the one.
No, I was gonna say, so I still haven't listened to that song you sent me.
Oh.
Is what I don't know what song you're talking about.
Jesus, take the lead. You know, if you ever start to fall asleep, then...
Have him take it from my hand.
Right.
Because I can't do
and
it
Jesus,
on my own.
And also, Jesus isn't allowed to drink, so if you let him take it, he will actually drive you home sober. Have you ever thought about that?
That's what I want to tell the cop next time
Exactly.
when I pull over and I'm in the passenger and there's no one in the driver's seat because Jesus is there.
But Jesus is my designated driver.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm always in his hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one thing about Jesus that seems weird to me is, like, he's they say God is omnipresent.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he's everywhere at once. So, like, not only are you in his hands, but another, like, 7 billion other people are also getting rubbed by his hands at the same time.
What a whore.
I mean, I didn't want to say it.
Well, that's if you believe in Jesus.
I didn't want to, like, personally say that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up super Catholic. Church every Sunday, Sunday school.
Yeah.
But the older I got and the less we went to church, I'm like, that's not I don't think I believe in an actual one person.
Yeah.
It's more of a higher power thing to me.
Well, I had a few priests around me, so I don't really believe in one person that was touching me as well.
Well, because
I believe in multiple people.
So this is where the threesome fetish comes from, because they just couldn't get enough of you.
Yeah. So, 5-year-old Josh was like, hey.
My brother, when we were younger, my mom told me this story. We were at church and my brother walked up when they give you the body of Christ or whatever, and he looked up and he goes, "Are you God?" He goes, "No, son, but I'm very close."
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm out.
That's pretty strange. I was trying to convince. I have this friend. She lives in Alabama. I used to, when I was going to this church in Alabama. This was when I was in college. Just like 15 years ago. But I knew her and her husband. They were like youth leaders. Mm-hmm. But anyway, like we still stay in touch, and they're very nice Christians. Like they're some of the best Christians. Like they're not the judgy types, and they're just like live out, like, just being really nice people. So I'm like good on them. And then they like adopt people and stuff. So they're really really dope. But I always like to give them a ton of shit. And then I was talking about threesomes to them, and Robin was just like, "How does it even work?" And I was just like, well, there's just like two people. there's like three people.
Did she want a picture drawn?
I'm like, yeah, it's like a bit more effort. She's like, it sounds like a lot of work. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, all the best things come from hard work, don't they? And then and then I always love to just bring it back to the Bible with her because they're Christians. So I'm just like, I mean, isn't this what Jesus or like they would have wanted? And I was like, the Bible does say a 3-cord strand is not easily broken. That's like one. And I was like, they literally modeled the Holy Trinity after a threesome. You have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Like it's a triad. You need 3 together.
Yeah.
And I was just like bringing up all these different like subtleties about threes in the Bible. She's like, I don't think that's what it's referring to.
Well, then you tell me what he's referring to then.
Like, yeah, I mean, who's the third player in this?
Yeah. Oh, man.
How's that cake? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you only notice it when you do. Like, else it's just like a little high.
I don't know if I'm like waiting for it to feel like Coke, but I also I do feel it in my head.
Yeah, it's different, but you can only really tell if you go like over, like not over the limit, but just crazy. I mean,
like now that we're talking about it, I feel weird.
Oh, yeah. See, that wasn't you that whole time. I mean, best case scenario is we go pee break and do more, and Cinda doesn't obviously care. I mean, she would just pay her for it.
It's Simba.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, the one thing I'm going to have to figure out on this, I love like real timing my podcast thoughts. Was. But I was like, the one thing I'm going to have to figure out is the times when I'm like, I can tell stories and not name drop and tell stories and name drop. That'll be like a...
Well, I thought about that on my way here too. I'm like, ways to change names.
Yeah. Well, there's just like certain people, especially if it's like people you would know that you're like the story I just told.
You're not in Alabama.
Yeah, she's not going to hear this podcast for a very long time. And maybe she will, but then she'll be like, no one's connected.
Yeah.
But then there's certain times where you're like, oh yeah, this is too close of a story versus like 10 years ago, and it's with like someone close to me now.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you just will be like, someone I know, but... Yeah, and I haven't figured that out yet, but that's a thing that's going to happen that I inevitably will find myself.
I know, because who was I thinking about on my way here? Oh, it was like Elisa and Ross. Like if I were to tell a story about them.
Yeah. You just have to be like, I have 2 friends and this girl and this guy. It's like
what was the name? I came up with Rick. Rick and...
Morty.
What did I do for Elisa? I did like Alex and Rick or something. All my gay best friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely like ways to do it, but I'm sure it'll just like you figure it out.
Because I always watch like Call Her Daddy, that podcast, because she does them on video now too. But it's so natural for her now.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just.
So do they change names? Do you think, or do they?
When she talks about someone in her life, she changes the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she comes up with a name. Like...
Yeah.
What was one? Like Superman or, like...
I think the problem with podcasting when massively intoxicated, which is kind of wanted this to be for a while anyway, but... Yeah. Is that you can't go... Like, you might have it in your head, but then if you're really drunk, you're just going to blurt out anyway. Like, you're like, whoops! But yeah, you probably get better at it too over time.
Yeah.
I figured I would just be like, this friend of mine, he did this, and so I told him, and he did this, and I did this, and then this is why it's funny, and then
I just can't.
And then we were both laughing.
Do you get it?
Get it. All right. Well,
God.
Here's to. I actually never do that.
This?
Yeah. I mean, I can.
You don't have to.
I know.
It's just like a part.
I still get just as drunk when I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I get pretty drunk.
Oh, that's true. I have seen you pretty drunk. Is that why you get more drunk than me? Because you tap it on the table? That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. Or the 7 in between shots.
Oh, yeah. You have that separate bottle.
Yeah, it's gone now.
I don't know if I can ever do, well, I guess we're going to have to find out. But I don't know if I can ever do like the podcast where it's like 2 microphones right here. Because then you have to, I like the ability to move. So, I think
well, I guess because that's your speaker, obviously.
Yeah. But, so I've been testing this and it seems quite fine.
Well, it sounded pretty good,
yeah.
like that first.
And what you do is you get rid of like some of the spacious noise. Like there's little applications that you can get rid of, like the tiny little hums and hisses, and then it just keeps the voices. So I'm sure, like, yeah, high quality ones you need, but I don't know if you need it, you know, because I'm just like, I like the freedom to just be like, have my space.
All this room for activities.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's all like trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error.
I think it'd be cool.
These lights are already fucking bright.
Yeah.
You say they're not bright enough?
No, they are. It's just like.
I keep looking at them.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at them.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep doing that.
I tried to set this up so we're like basically looking at each other.
But I don't really want to look at you either.
Yeah, like look at like this spot of the Corlejo bottle.
I do like that bottle.
Yeah.
She's pretty.
I kind of set it up so you can just kind of like look being around the table.
They're in between 2 ferns, but not as funny.
Definitely not as funny.
I was watching the bloopers on that today, dude. It's so funny.
Same. Did you send it to me or?
I might have. I don't know. I saw it on TikTok today.
Well, that made me. I was like, why haven't I gone through and just watched all of them? Because he's so good with his questions, and he just
straight face.
Just shreds them. He's like, your parents got divorced at 7. Were you like?
Was it your fault?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was that one. That was the one.
That was the one.
And then what's that? What's that actor's name?
Are you able to teach other like up and coming actors how to hide your Jewishness?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. As well as you have.
Oh, it's so good. But I've seen some of his like the ones with
the one he does with Steve Carell is hilarious.
Because Steve Carell is just as awkward as him.
Yeah.
So they're going back and forth. And then, like, I saw the one with him and Obama, and that was pretty funny. The
one with Hillary is actually pretty funny because she gets really mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's always funny when people don't, like, know what they're getting into. Like,
yeah.
Like, you're
sitting down
and you haven't watched any of these.
And if you don't even know what In Between the Ferns is, then that's your problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, I feel like stand-up comedians talk about that a lot, where they're like, oh yeah, they saw me on this one television show.
Yeah. So
they decided to come to my comedy, and then they got offended. I'm like, have you not seen any of my comedy? Yeah.
Stupid.
Dude, what if that happens to me and I invite somebody over to the podcast, and then it just like royally piss them off?
I think I
line up the Academy.
I wonder who would even get that mad.
Yeah.
Out of your friends.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, yeah, my whole plan is to just do it with friends for the most part at first, and then, but if it expands, then it's definitely going to go somewhere.
If you were to have one out of anyone in the world on your podcast, just to sit here and talk with.
A talker?
No, just like someone famous, non-famous.
Oh, if I could like have someone on my
Have
podcast.
any? Yeah.
Oh man, probably like Matthew McConaughey. He's probably my like. I think he's the most interesting, famous person.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That was the first one that came to my head. How about you?
Oh God. Probably someone stupid like Kylie Jenner, just so I could meet her.
Yeah. Well, you still get
or
drunk.
her kid. No, her kid's pretty cool.
You're like, actually, can I just hang out with your kid? No, I mean, I would
I don't know, just
obviously
to, like,
really
honestly
fun to
sit
like.
down and talk to you.
It would be fun to get drunk with any sort of.
I feel like
celebrity.
it'd be fun to sit down and get drunk with like Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like she's like a funny, dry humor type of person.
The other thing is they have so many stories, so you could literally just kind of like pick their brain. And, just be like, dude, what about this? And then and then they could just go down because they have all these cool shit. You know, I don't know.
I always thought I would like write a book about my life. Cause I've had cool shit happen in my life.
Yeah.
And like weird shit. But then I'm like, oh, not really that interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just go through the motions.
Well, I mean, like, just because you're not interesting doesn't mean, like, you can't, like...
I also don't like to read, so why would I write a book?
You need a ghostwriter. I was just listening to somebody, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to write a book. They're like, oh, you're writing yourself? Like, fuck that, though. I'm not actually going to write it. Like, of course I'm going to have somebody write it for me.
I just want to sit there and, like, hope for, like, 48 hours and just talk about my life.
Yeah, they, like, transcribe.
Yeah,
and then kind of hash it down. You can read it a little bit. You're like, no, get that out.
Yeah.
You know? Make it a little funnier. Maybe sound cooler.
Sound like, cooler. Less of a piece of shit.
I would be like, maybe sound more of a piece of shit, but more articulated piece of shit.
Yeah. Like, I'm doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's all part of a master plan.
Let's pretend like there's an end goal here.
Yeah. This is just the figuring out stage.
Yeah.
Are we just describing life?
Yeah. I did think I was like, I need to start writing things down if I ever want to write a book. Because you're supposed to, like most authors, like they go back to their journals, right? And I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know. God,
I can barely remember what I ate yesterday.
Yeah.
Even if I did eat anything.
But you know in the moment that you're interesting. So you like know that there's content there.
Yeah.
But then if you don't ever keep it, then you're like, oh fuck.
Then you sit here like, I like eggs.
That's a prologue. I like eggs.
Chapter 1.
3 of them.
Deviled eggs.
Scrambled.
Fried.
Sometimes I like the pan upside down.
Hannah was talking about this like egg cleanse that Hispanic people do.
We don't eat eggs for at least a week.
No, where you take an egg. I guess you like take an egg and like rub it on your body. You rub it on your body. Like it's just an egg in the shell.
I feel like you've done this with egg-like substances before.
Rub things on my body. Well, and then I guess you crack it in a glass of water, and then you put something else in it, and it's supposed to tell you something. I don't know if the egg talks to you.
How many drugs do you do with the egg?
I'd say at least 3 or 4 drugs.
Okay.
I don't know which ones, but I'm down for like 5 or 6.
Could you do like the gamble drugs where you just like pick 5 out of 10?
Like that episode of Blue Mountain State. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen that show?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious.
Isn't it like a...
It's like a football show.
Yeah, it's like Friday Night Lights.
But it's not serious at all.
Oh.
It's like It's Always Sunny of Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
Stupid.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But they have they lock everyone in the house, and they're all handed a certain bag of drugs. and they all have to take all the drugs, and then they all go on this massive trip, and they don't know what's going on. They think this girl's running at them with no arms, but she's got beer cans for arms. It's crazy shit. It's called Drug Olympics, is what it's called.
Okay.
It's so funny.
This sounds like a show I'd be more into than Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, because I haven't even seen Friday Night Lights.
Me neither, but it sounded like One Tree Hill, but like worse.
And I haven't even seen One Tree Hill.
I did. It was good for like.
Isn't it a reality TV show?
No, One Tree Hill is like the OC. The OC is like is like how you grew up.
Like
yeah,
90210?
I never saw that.
Gossip Girl?
Never saw that either. Yeah, so it's basically like a teen drama.
Yeah.
Like a high school drama where this what is the daytime drama shows called? Soap operas. It's like a teen soap opera. So they were like, yeah. Telenovela is what you said.
That's a Mexican soap opera.
Oh. What about Telenutella?
Nutella?
Yeah.
Down for that.
It's like a little peanut butter Nutella.
I remember, that's super random, because every time I think about Nutella, I remember being in Italy with my family.
Yeah.
Like, what am I, 26 almost? Probably like 12 years ago. And how our like room was, it was 2 separate rooms. My parents were in one, we're in the other. And this isn't the Nutella story, but we'll get to the Nutella story.
Oh, yeah.
Because this just popped up. I heard noises coming from my parents' room, right? And I'm like,
what kind of noises?
What's going on in there? And then I walk in, and they're having sex. And I locked myself in the bathroom, and I'm screaming, crying about what my mom is doing to my dad. Not about what my dad is doing to my mom.
Do you remember what position you're in?
Yes, I know exactly. They were both on their sides. And weirdly enough,
were they facing each other or away from
they
each
were
other?
like you were spooning, you know?
Was your mom the big spoon or the little spoon?
It's the little spoon.
But you were upset at what your mom was doing.
Yeah. Because I was such a daddy's girl. But anyway.
What was she doing to him?
Nothing.
Oh.
She was just having sex with him, being with him. I don't know. I was just...
I was just trying to figure out all of the details.
Well, because I was always so, like, protective over my father. Like, I was the only one that got to spend time with him, and I, like, resented my mother for it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when I...
You wanted to be a little spoon.
Ew.
Okay, Freud.
Let's just go to the Nutella story.
What does this have to do with Nutella?
Well, it was in the same room hotel when we were in Europe.
Ah, okay.
That's why it came to my mind.
And then
that frightening image came back.
Eating a bunch of Nutella.
Well, then I saw my brother the next morning eating toast with chocolate on it. And I'm all, Mom, he's eating chocolate for breakfast. She goes, it's Nutella. And I go, can I have some? She goes, no. I'm all, well, Sean gets it. And that's my story about Nutella.
Why didn't you get the Nutella?
I don't know. She wouldn't let me have any.
Dude, so Nutella I don't think was like super popular over here at first, right? It's definitely like a European thing, or like it got bigger over there.
I think I only knew about it because of that, and because like I knew Lorena.
Yeah.
So like her family always had Nutella at their house.
So yeah, because I didn't grow up with it, but I was sheltered, so I didn't grow up with a lot of things. Yeah. But I remember seeing Nutella in Australia.
Yeah.
And then like I felt like Europeans and Australians had Nutella more, and it was like this chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah, I was like, why don't we have this?
But yeah, and then I would have assumed that like anything sweet and buttery that you put on bread, we would have had. So it didn't make sense that I didn't have it.
It's mine. I want it. I deserve this.
Have you ever had Vegemite? That's the other thing Australians put. That on their toast. It's not good.
Or what's that stuff? What's it called? It's like raw. They eat it in
Sushi.
No. Starts with an F. Foie gras. Foie gras. You heard of foie gras? I can't remember what it's made of. It's like a raw pig or something gross, something weird that I noticed a lot in Italy.
Raw pig.
And in, let me see. How do you spell that?
Foie gras? F-A-G?
Foie gras.
Maybe it's more of a P-H-A-G. You know, like a...
Oh, it's liver. That's what it is.
You eat raw liver?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Food product made of the liver of duck or goose. It's French. That's where I had it. Foie gras.
Oh.
I didn't France.
I thought you were talking about pigs.
No, I couldn't remember what it was. It's a pate of goose or duck.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely eat raw duck. Of course. Who wouldn't?
A lot of people.
I just thought you meant raw pig. That would be disgusting.
No, I was thinking of some... Well, I don't think you can eat raw pig.
I think you can.
I've had raw beef.
You just kind of...
I just see Josh in the corner biting a pig.
I've actually asked this question, speaking of raw shit, to many people, not on this podcast, because this is the first time, so I've never asked this. Would you, if you were if you were in another country, you know how it's rude to turn people down sometimes, especially if you go into different cultures? Like, you don't want to turn them down if they offer you something.
Yes.
So, if you go to a certain culture and they offer you food, and it's meat, it's cooked, and then you find out it's human, would you or would you not eat it?
Do I know this before or after?
You know before.
No.
Why?
Because it's human.
But it's already dead.
Yeah, but...
And you would offend them if you don't eat it.
I don't give a fuck who I offend.
But you're in their village. What if you're next?
Well, then I'm dead.
What if you eat it, you might stay alive?
You know, if I've already ended up there, I might as well be dead.
But what if you eat it and you like it?
Well, that's the issue.
Yeah. All of this is a very hypothetical issue.
Yeah, but like I don't want to meet Hannibal and then have him prepare this fantastic meal for me. If I ate it and I didn't realize till after, then whatever, it happened.
So then you would do it again. What if you ate it and you didn't realize and you really loved it and then they told you, would you eat more?
No.
Huh.
Because there's so many other foods out there that I gladly enjoy.
But they're already dead.
Yeah, but like, what if that was the last of that one person? What if we have to move on to another and they taste different?
Well, wouldn't you want to find out?
Well, I mean, if I'm at that point where I'm meeting people already, I might as well.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to go there either, but if I found myself there, then I might, like...
You just wake up one day and you've been eating people for, like, 30 days?
Yeah, and you're like, well, I kind of already like it, so might as well see if the other
What if it's just, like, a delicacy? It's, like, the most tender meat you've ever ate in your entire life.
That's probably what it is, and that's why people like people that do it. But then everyone else is like, well, that's fucked. Because it is fucked.
It is fucked.
But if you become one of those people and you're like, oh shit, well this is fucked, but why do I like it so much? It's like heroin. What if people mean is like heroin?
Do you love heroin?
I mean, most people that do heroin like it. And most people that do heroin is like, this is probably something I shouldn't do. You know, like, we all know.
I mean, there's lots of things we shouldn't do.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that human flesh tastes good.
But what if it tastes as good as heroin?
Alright, cut. Cut some of your leg off, and we're gonna try.
Chop chop. Wait, do you want this section? Or?
Actually, I'm more meaty.
To be fair, like, yeah, you gotta get like the
Get the rump. Get the rump. The rump of the roast.
Well, that's what they do with cows, right?
Something like that.
Like the fatty part is like the. Also, you don't like. That's why you don't get like. Actually, I don't know how it all works, but I know what I grew up with, like beef and venison. Venison is deer, and deer is like way tougher because my dad was like they're way more muscular, and then cows just stand around and eat. Like they just like eat a bunch of shit and get fat, like so.
Okay.
But I don't know if that same thing applies to because fish are swimming all the time. They have to be muscular as fuck, but yet it's still nice and juicy and tender.
But
So,
do they have like muscles like we do?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I never paid attention in biology.
Is that a biology thing for fish?
Well, isn't biology the study of life? Fish are alive.
Fish is life?
Do you know what would help us figure out this question? Not shot tequila.
Happy.
That's fine. No one said we can't fall asleep.
We just were trying not to. That's a funny.
Happy.
So funny.
We could just do more ketamine and then figure it out. I shouldn't even sit that there.
I want to see what people say about ketamine on Google because I can get up private browsing. I can just go to regular browsing.
You have to do private because you're looking up drugs.
Drugs.
You know that Elon
like,
Musk
why
is
is this saved here?
What?
It just says weed. I don't know why it's there.
Did you click on it and see where it takes you?
No, I haven't actually. Why does it take me to the State of Idaho Tax Commission?
Somebody must have saved that on your favorites. Because that's a favorite.
But why does it take me to the State of Idaho Tax Commission?
Because they like to tax weed. I don't know.
Well, look at you being so smart.
I feel like the first 3 people to watch this is going to be you, me, and like Hannah. So we're off to a good start. We already have 3 subscribers.
You spell ketamine?
It's KETAMINE. Mm-mm.
I don't want to look at the DEA. I want like a Twitter thread.
This episode is brought to you by Twitter.
Okay.
Do you want to do more ketamine after this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like I'm tired
That's fantastic.
and drunk.
Well, yeah, that's the point. I don't know if that's the point, but here we go. So, when was the last time you lived?
What?
When was the last time you lived with someone that you were dating?
Never. Because I've never really seriously dated anybody. There was, when I was 19, I lived in this apartment down in the North End with my friend. And we took over this lease for my dad when he moved away to London. And it's crazy to think about how cheap the rent was then. That was like 7 years ago. And it's in North End. When you're going up to Bogus,
Yeah.
it's like one of those apartment complexes on the right.
Oh, right. Across from that little brewery over there?
So there's that.
Like right
It's
before
now
the governor's house? kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was $900.
What?
$900. That was about 7 years ago.
That's wild.
For a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. No, it was a 2-bedroom. Yeah, it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Like, right on Bogus Basin Road.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really wild.
Well, I was 19, and then we couldn't afford our rent with 2 people.
$450. What the fuck?
Because we were 19.
Yeah.
And so a couple of our coworkers moved in. Well, one girl moved in. Her name was Candace, super nice girl. And then eventually this guy Josh moved in with us.
I like him.
He was 27, and I was 19, and we like started seeing each other. That was like the closest thing to like living with someone I ever been. And even then, like my roommate kicked him out because we started doing drugs. Like that's how I started doing heroin, because he did it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I didn't know any better. Like when I first did it, I thought I was doing Molly because I had no idea what was going on. I was like, wow, I feel really good. Like, what is this, Molly? He goes, no, this is heroin. I was like, yeah, I wanted to do that anyway. Let's just check that off the bucket list.
I'm going to go in and say it's Molly.
But yeah.
I mean, it does feel really nice.
It's kind of like a euphoric feeling, you know. I wouldn't have known the difference, but obviously now we do. But that, and I think I saw him for like 3 or 4 months, and I thought I was madly in love, and
aren't we all in 19?
Yeah. And then there was Jasper. And that was a couple months of fun bender.
Jasper's cute.
Jasper fell asleep at the bar the other day.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just like full on. Like,
it was weird. It was weird. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, I think. 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. And he's sitting at the end of the bar. I know he's a little fucked up when he's more talkative. Like he's a little bit more personable when he's a little bit drunk. And we talked a little bit, whatever. He had a beer. And I looked over at him, and his head was like, this is the bar top, it was like this. But his eyes were open. So I thought maybe he was trying to plug something in under the bar. So I looked at him for...
under the bar.
Yeah, so I looked at him for a minute, and he didn't move. So I walked over in front of him, and I like got at his eye level. And his eyes are still open, and I'm looking at him. And he's not moving. And I'm like, Jasper? And he goes... I was like, were you just fucking asleep with your eyes open?
Does he sleep with his eyes open?
Yeah. And I'm like, don't do that.
You can fall asleep here, but keep them closed.
But it was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I'm like, is this man okay? Yeah. Well, and then who was it? Someone came up to me and was like, what did you do to him? I didn't do anything to him.
Well, the amount... I will say that I'm not sympathetic, but that is the one reason that I get kicked out of bars.
You do fall asleep everywhere.
I fall asleep everywhere.
You do. When you're sleepy, you're sleepy.
Yeah, and it's like you can't help it. You're just like, I'm just gonna try it. I'm like, try it over here, and you're just like, and then you don't know what's happening, and all of a sudden you're just down.
Yeah,
and you're down for the count.
Yeah, I was reversing. I don't know. I'm like kind of dating someone right now, but. It's fresh. It's new. And he's not here all the time. So.
Does her name start with Kitty Cat?
Yeah.
Does her name start with Pepper?
Pepper. Yeah, she's darker. She's like kind of gray.
Wouldn't that be very strange if you like somebody started talking about someone they're really into and they like took you down like a path of like a good half-hour conversation and then you realize it was their cat?
You're like, you want to meet him?
You're like, oh no.
That was weird. It was like really bubbly.
I mean, seltzers, especially Truly's. Truly is one of the bubbliest of the seltzers.
Yeah, I don't think I can drink that. I was not a fan of my tummy.
Sorry that I haven't.
No, it's just, like I've just come to a point where I'm like, if I can't stomach it, I'm not going to drink it.
That's what my ex said when she gave me blowjobs.
It's probably because you had a lack of pineapple juice. You've been on a surplus of pineapple lately.
See, that's why she's my ex now.
That's why she's always on her knees, coming 40 times.
PJ for the BJ. That's what they say.
BJ for the PJ. Blood job for the private jet.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
You haven't, huh?
I was thinking pineapple juice for the blowjob.
Oh, I was thinking blowjob for the private jet.
What if it's PJ for BJ for PJ?
Well, you'd have to be
What's the next
gay,
line?
or she would own a private jet. PJ for the BJ for the PJ. Right?
Wow. Yeah, this is way too meta for me.
I'm lost in this.
I do like they all rhyme though.
PJ and BJ?
Yeah.
Because they both end with J.
And they both start with
P or B?
B.
B. Oh.
Yeah, BJ for the PJ, the private jet.
Or you can wear PJs on the PJ.
Oh. Yeah, but if you're going to be in my PJ, you're not in PJs.
You're naked.
You're giving me BJs. I mean, not naked, but let's say scandalous at best.
Scandalous PJs.
If I've worked my entire life off to figure out a way to fly on a private jet.
It's only like 10 grand for a private jet to rent.
Right.
You get 10 friends for $1,000, you could go somewhere.
I mean, that's fair. It's actually not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. I would be down to do that.
Yeah. Then we could all wear PJs.
But I'm not giving you a BJ.
Right. That would be a different situation.
Okay.
But if I owned a private jet, or I had, like, my private jet that I rented every time I went somewhere, if I worked to the point where I got there, there's zero chance the women that I bring on board are wearing PJs.
Gotcha.
Like,
You're gonna
earn my way up the ladder
that they better look good.
They better at least wear sweatpants.
You got the Dan Bilzerian beard. They better be like Dan Bilzerian model types.
I mean...
Ever since you said that the other day, I can't see anything else.
I'll probably just shave it now. Damn it.
He's been like pretty ghost on social media though lately. Have you noticed that?
I don't even know who he is anymore.
I don't either. After Lorena wouldn't sleep with him, it kind of went downhill from there.
Wait, did that actually occur?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she was like one of the only models that wouldn't sleep with him.
Damn. Good for her. I mean, she could have had a lot more money.
I'm pretty sure she's fine.
Same.
I'm pretty sure that
that's
her
also the move.
Husband makes a lot of money.
That's also the move. Are they married already?
They got married, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told you. No, I didn't tell you.
You didn't? They did like the elopement thing, and then are they still doing the whole?
Well, they're having they're supposed to get married next month.
Yeah.
But she's pregnant.
So they're not doing the wedding.
Not till next year.
No. Yeah, I mean that happens. See, what happens is when
if you have sex, you get pregnant and then you die.
But according to my ex-girlfriend's priest, you can't give blowjobs.
You can also have anal.
If you give a blowjob, you'll go blind. You get a little cum in your eye.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Is that true?
No, it's definitely true.
I heard someone got cum in their eye and their eye turned like gray.
Now you go blind. And that's what the Catholics teach. Or some of the Catholics. That's what my ex.
It also makes your skin really soft.
Hence the like spreading the egg stuff all over your...
We're not talking about egg ovaries.
Egg ovaries.
Egg ovaries. Egg ovaries.
Egg ovaries. Yeah. If I were a girl and I was approached by Dan Bilzerian, the best move would obviously be to not do it, because you would be the only one, and then he would want.
Yeah, but if you're not hot enough, you're gonna be.
No, you have to be hot enough first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be the really hot one.
Yeah.
So she is.
Yeah.
So if I was her level, yeah, then you're like, nah, not about it. Like, that will definitely make the guy who can get anyone want you more. But yeah, you have to be on a level. That makes sense.
Yeah. Hence why I just, go for the gold. Just trap them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been the guy who can figure out how to get all of the hot girls. So there's one hot girl that has to pretend to not want me just to... It's been a little outside my pay grade.
Just a little bit.
It's a tiny bit.
This man's got millions.
Yeah. It's weird how, like, money does...
How it affects...
Like, a lot of things.
Like, everything. You could be the ugliest man on the earth, and you have, like, $1 million. And...
If you just, like, show a little bit of it, you can see the girls just, like, coming out of the...
You can hear the stilettos clacking on the way down the hill.
Yeah. Clackety, 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 clackety. Yeah, there's, like, quite a wild, like, phenomenon that happens. I mean, we see it at Rudy's. You'll see, like, the person that just people know that have money, and they're like...
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, can't say I haven't taken advantage of one.
Yeah.
For money. I mean, I still do it. I Venmo request pennies every time I want my nails done. He pays me.
Does he actually do it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, if you're gonna continue to call me at 3 a.m. every weekend, then a little compensation would be nice.
Yeah.
He's only given me like $2,000 over like 2 years. It's not that much money for him.
Nail appointments.
Whatever.
I mean, if I could hit up somebody every time I wanted my balls waxed, I would do it.
Have you ever done that?
Well, not on someone else's dime.
But have you had your balls waxed?
He's a little... But I would.
I've never had a wax down here.
Someone's paying.
It's weird. I'm scared.
I think it's fine.
Well, I know it's fine, but
you just have to, like... I think that what they do is, you know how in those old movies where...
I don't like where this is going.
What are you hearing anyway? You know when somebody breaks their leg and they have to reset it?
Oh.
And so then they have to, like, put something in their mouth. So they bite down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that...
Bite block is what they call them.
Yeah. So I think that's really the only thing that you need to worry about.
That's what they use when people have seizures, actually.
Just imagine if they put, like, a big giant dick right in your mouth. You bite down and they rip your hair out.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad now.
See? It wasn't the worst picture.
I think we might be onto something.
What if you had to find the guy who was the bite block? Like, you will get $50. She's paying for her experience. Oh my god.
So, Christianity, the man, like, a couple weeks ago was like...
Jesus.
Jesus.
Christianity, the man.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
No.
I know.
Okay. He was like, I have a mold of, like, my junk if you want it. He's all, it doesn't get that much use. I'm all, gross.
What would you be using it for?
What do I want it for? I don't even like you.
That's actually... Hear me out. That might be the best situation. Because what is your favorite part of Jesus the man?
I mean, you're right.
You wouldn't have to deal with...
But I've already got it out of my system, so none of it is... I'm already over it.
You wouldn't have to deal with any of the other parts.
Well, I still have to deal with the other parts. He still won't leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
Even after that night, I told him I was done. What night was that? Was it Thursday? That's Thursday.
No, it was...
That was Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday.
I've been telling him for 4 days. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Every day. Still asking me. Mom, still the same as yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens. That's the thing about, like, the difference between girls and guys, I feel. Like,
What?
girls will be like, I'm done, and then the dude will always be, like, persistent.
Yeah.
Months.
Yeah.
And then, like, sometimes a girl will finally give in and go back, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, it's still, like, it's always that.
I mean, trust me.
Well, like, if I say to a girl, I'm done, they're like, okay. I've never had a girl be like, yeah, but can we have sex again? I've never experienced
I guess
that.
that's true.
Like, if I, like, cut a girl off, it's, like, there's no way they're coming back.
Yeah.
You want to get Russell on this podcast?
He wants to be on it. That's all that matters.
I'm surprised he's not here. Come on.
Hi. What's up, man? Hi. Plus.
Yeah, I think that's a major... So that's one of the things that I...
Well, and I guess that's where...
curious about... Not curious, but... There are these very... not even subtle differences. Like, the way that I watch you and Ivy and Hannah and some of my other girlfriends in relationships, and the way that men interact with you, and the way that women interact with me is so fucking different. Like, it's so fucking different. And, like that's just one example. Like, if I were to cut someone off, they'd be like, okay, next. They'll, like,
Yeah.
they'll, like, go off to the next dude. But if you cut someone off, they'll, like, hit you up for weeks, months, whatever. Just
Years.
decades.
Pennies. Years.
Yeah. That's very strange. And then we were talking about, like, at work, if I were to not put in, like, any time and effort into, like, somebody at the bar as a dude, like, they would probably think I did, like, they wouldn't be around as much. So I have to, like, put that forward. But
yeah, because I don't have to do anything to make money.
Yeah.
I just have to be there.
Yeah. It's very
and
different.
make you a drink.
Yeah. Be like, hey, thanks. Yeah, it's so strange.
That's just one of the double standards that works
and if
in
you
our
go,
favor.
You don't, yeah, obviously there's, like, on the opposite end.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones I've noticed, like, when I would talk to girlfriends I have that are on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, so, I mean, I guess, like, I'm just kind of horny, so I'll just, like, look through my DMs and, like, see what I want.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it took me 6 months to garnish 5 messages.
Yeah.
and I'm, like, an average-looking dude. But girls are just like, yeah, there's just, like a bag of dicks. She's like,
literally, which one do I want?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could probably call one of many people.
Yeah.
Except,
I will say that there's this thing that happens when I'm, like, it might just be, like, when I'm either super tired or super drunk, but there's been times I'm like, I could get laid right now, but I'm like, it's just,
don't want to.
it sounds like a lot of work.
I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, I could just, like, do my own thing and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to, like, worry about the other person.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's not about the work of this. I don't even think for me, even though as
it's
a guy,
more
it's
like,
sex.
I don't
It's
want
about
you
the
in my
work
bed, I don't want
of-
you in my space, I don't want you sleeping here.
You have to deal with another human being that you may or not want to, like, associate with in that moment. So, like, yeah, like, maybe I want to get off still, but then I have to deal with the interaction.
Yeah.
The hello. The build up, the goodbye, the like, hey, so do you want to go? Do you not? Do you want to stay? Like, hey, I was just thinking that I didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And all of that is complicated.
So it's just easier sometimes to just be like, hey, just do my own thing.
No. That's why I named my cum socks.
Do they all have
then I just get like Sylvia.
Peyton, Natty, Cinda.
It's different names. None of those girls have socks.
Oh.
The socks are way too special.
They mean more to me.
The socks mean way more than these frivolous girls that I see.
Girls that don't work in the eye of God.
Yeah, that's basically it. And sometimes you just need that.
That one sock to make you feel good.
Classic. Do you want to do one more shot and then call it?
No, I'm good. I don't want to shot.
Why?
I want to be able to drive home.
Oh. I thought we were going to fuck after.
Cut!
That's the one that Iris told me about. She's like, there's like this dude, and he like, it's him and his girlfriend, and then they have a third girl on, and they're all like porn stars, and then they do a podcast.
Oh,
and they like talk about it, and then they finish the podcast and they go fuck. It's like, huh.
I wonder if that's real, if they actually fuck.
No one will ever know.
They'll have to record it.
Well, I mean,
every episode starts with like the sex noises of the episode before.
From what I mean, I guess I haven't seen it, but from what
I feel like I know who she's talking about. I feel like it's these two twin girls.
She was like, well, they look like porn stars, so it's like probably.
I think I know who she's talking about, but you know, I never know.
Well, Emma, thanks for being on my podcast.
You're welcome.
Classic.
We stayed awake. That's all that matters.
It's good. Actually, goodbye, everybody. We made it.